King of the Year was also one of my first competitions.
Yeah, didn't make the heat.
You know, it might sound a bit arrogant.
Didn't make the next heat.
I think I call bullshit on that.
Just kind of stopped. I look at him. I was like, "You."
I'm preparing for the worst of the worst.
Done. Went home.
Okay, Janek, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you very much, Max. What? Pretty good in Cape Town right now. Can't be much worse, you know. Not that much wind as we thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit stronger. But what? It's not bad. I'm in Cape Town.
How are the preparations? A bit of a lack of wind, but you're feeling good? You're getting ready?
No, preparations, yeah, of course, with a little bit lack of wind, could be a little bit better to get some more stronger sessions in before King of the Year. But I mean, it's good. My mental game, I think, is quite strong right now. So I'm feeling pretty prepared for this one.
Hey, on this one, we want to talk about your most memorable moment from Coda in the past. Well, with you, it's pretty easy because you only did one Coda.
Yeah.
But do you have something in mind to talk about? Something that I would like to know and I probably don't know about? And also maybe something that you take on for this edition.
So definitely one memorable moment is just attempting King of the Year as one of the guys that has not been known at that time. Maybe right now people know me a little bit better than 3 years ago, but before, it was just a huge honor to compete in King of the Year, and of course for the first time be with all the big names. So if we talk about the most memorable moment, I think that would be one of it. You know, the crowd is cheering up. There's like thousands of people on the beach. King of the Year was also one of my first competitions that I ever attended in kitesurfing. I think maybe I attended 3 competitions in total before King of the Year, but they were all very small. The competition was not that big. Like the riders were definitely not the top 20 riders. So it's definitely a little bit different. But yeah, definitely my mind on my first King of the Year freaked out completely. It blocked me, it froze me when I was competing, and yeah, that was like kind of the moment that I realized that, okay, Janek, you really need to start getting your mental game a little bit better. And of course I started working with my sports psychologist, and we are just going through many different things of actually how to minimize the stress. And maybe not minimize, but more so make the stress more in a familiar way, more friendly way, rather than having it negative and actually impacting on the riding. Because the stress, it's gonna be there no matter what. I mean, it's King of the Year, it's the biggest comp ever. If somebody doesn't stress in there, probably he doesn't care about this competition. But I mean, it's quite normal to be nervous, quite normal to be stressed, but it's very important, in my opinion, to have the stress be as slow, maybe not as slow, but as friendly as possible. But as I said, like on the beginning, it was pretty tough for me. It was pretty tough. Like my brain just froze so much that I didn't even know what trick I should do. I was not even prepared about like what tricks I should be doing. And yeah, I just got into this kind of a panic mode. But the riding that I made in King of the Year edition was just not my riding. It was not me. It was really someone else. So yeah, ever since then I really paid attention to work on that.
Do you think that in general the riders underestimate the stress factor? Because in every sport, I think if you do that on the highest level, you cause with stress. No matter if you play Wimbledon or you fight a big UFC fight or you play a World Cup of soccer, this same stress probably comes in. So every athlete has to deal with it. But it seems that in kiteboarding, people just rock up to an event like this and then suddenly the stress is taking over.
It's actually a very funny question you're asking, because I think a lot of people, they're like so hyped about King of the Year. Everybody's dream, like to be a part of King of the Year, to be competing in King of the Year. But at least from my case, and I believe it's a case of many others, that people want to compete in there, but they don't really realize what are maybe not the consequences of doing that, but like what are the effects of actually competing there. Everybody's just hyped, King of the Year, Cape Town, strong winds, big kickers, best riders, like everybody's stoked, but actually there is way more coming into that. Once you like get to the beach, and well, actually I think it starts from the skippers meeting. Once the skippers meeting is starting and people actually talk about what's happening, the safety, the tricks, then then you just nobody talks in the room. It's very quiet, and people start to get into this zone of, okay, this is happening, and as a not competitor and as a spectator, you don't see any of that. You see riders coming out and they go, and you actually don't even see them being that stressed. I don't see other riders being stressed. I just know they are because everybody is, but you don't see that from the beach. But actually, yeah, it impacts our riding quite a bit.
Hey, and I think listening to you, and you really did something with what happened in that last one regarding your stress. You worked on it. I think you did several contests after, you won contests, so you seem more prepared. I think you're on the list of one of the favorites. Are you aware of that, or how do you deal with that pressure? I don't want to put too much pressure on you right now because, yeah, looking at your riding, I think you have a good chance to get on the podium. But how do you cope with that?
So I of course I know I do have a lot of supporters even on my social media. Like, I see that a lot of people are cheering on me. If I'm the top favorites, I never really knew because, like, like everybody gets, when once King of the Year starts, I'm sure all of those riders gets a lot of messages about, hey, you're the best, you're gonna win it. Like, I've never really thought that I'm the only one getting those. So I never really thought that I would be like the top 3 or top most liked rider. I never really thought that way. I mean, it's of course an honor if you're saying that.
Take it as a confidence factor, maybe, that people really think your riding is up to that level, so you have it in the bag.
Yes, I really hope so. And also right now with my new Red Bull sponsorship, it's just a little bit more pressure coming, a Red Bull rider right now, like, he must be good, he must know something, so there is a little bit more pressure coming in, definitely. But since I started working on it, we're minimizing this pressure and we're making it more friendly, so I don't think it's gonna impact me. Well, I'm sure it's not gonna impact me as it impacted me 3 years ago. The stress is definitely gonna be there. I mean, I'm stressed already about this King of the Year, and it hasn't even come. It's gonna be in 1 week. But the nerves are here. But the goal is just to make them friendly and not having them impact your riding. Everyone is gonna be stressed. Everyone.
Okay, that's good to hear. I think you should not stress. It's just good that your riding is on point, but don't worry too much about it. Hey, and you also had some injuries over the past years. I think you had to bail out on one edition as well because you had an injury. How are you dealing with that right now? Are you completely pain-free and ready to go?
So actually, that's also an interesting question because I thought that I am pain-free, but actually just on yesterday's session, like, I was jumping over a kicker and the back of the kicker just hit my foot a little bit. It was nothing strong. It was not like an impact or anything, but my foot cracked a little bit in the same place like it did last time. I was speaking to 2 physiotherapists already, and they both say that it should be all right and that it should not be it's quite hard to damage it even more. But yeah, the pain, I might have a little bit of pain throughout my training sessions. So yeah, definitely gonna take it a little bit chiller until King of the Year, and in King of the Year gonna push it. But of course, I would really hate to get injured once again, and that would be one of the worst nightmares ever. So definitely keeping it more on the calm side right now before King of the Year, and once King of the Year hits, like, I'm honestly happy to risk it so much. If I'm gonna get injured in King of the Year, I mean, I'm gonna get injured in King of the Year. It's been something that I've been waiting for a long time, so I'm ready to give it my all.
Make sure you get to the start and then go all the way.
Yes. Definitely not gonna go all in the first round. That would also be quite not the smartest ideas. But if I would get into a final, I'm ready to give it all. I'm really ready to give it all.
Great to hear. Well, Janek, best of luck. We're all gonna watch you, of course, and do your best. Don't stress. Stay away from the injuries, and then everything will be good.
Thank you so much.
Okay, speak soon.
Have a good one.
Speak soon. Bye.
Ciao.